Hello, artists. Today, we're learning how to paper mache. I am super excited to show you our process. You should already have your structure. So you've built it either using newspaper, or maybe built it using found objects, boxes, thin cardboard, the such. What you also are gonna need is to be at the paper mache station. You're gonna need some thin strips of paper, and you're gonna need our paper mache paste. Yes, your hands are going to get gluey, but remember, it's just glue. Who cares? That's also some of the fun of it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start paper macheing my little pig. All right, so I need to grab one of those white strips of paper, and you always wanna make sure it's just one. Sometimes they stick together a little bit from being cut together. Then we're going to be using the glue, okay? And this is a really important part of the process, that you're doing this properly. Not enough glue and the paper won't stick. Too much glue and we're wasting glue, and it also takes much longer to dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it with my fingertips in one hand at the top. My other hand kind of pushes it under the surface. Let's see if you can see that okay. Sorry, yes. Here we go. I try to push it under the surface of the glue. See that? Until the whole thing is gluey. Now, right now, there is a lot of glue on this. So I'm gonna use my scissor fingers, not these two. If you notice, there's kind of a gap, right? When I use my thumb and my forefinger. So I'm gonna use my scissor fingers. And I'm gonna start way at the top. And I'm gonna scissor finger all of that extra glue off of the paper. I'm gonna turn it and do it one more time. Now, if you notice, I've got a lot of glue on my fingers yet. I don't want that on my sculpture. So I am going to wipe that off on the edge. I still have a little glue, but it's not as much. Then I need to apply it to my sculpture. And when you are applying it to the sculpture, you wanna go, this is where the head and the body come together, where the leg and the body come together. We call that a joint. I want to first cover the joints. So I put that paper mache paste down here, and I'm going to kind of rub it down gently, but make sure it's smooth and down around my sculpture. I'm gonna do that process again. So, paper mache paste, scissor finger. Notice also, I'm doing that scissor fingering over the glue container. That helps us to keep from wasting a lot, okay? And again, we're gonna turn back to that sculpture. This time, I'm gonna get a different joint. Perhaps I'll work back here. And I'm gonna rub it down that foot joint. And I really smooth it along that newspaper. We're gonna continue this until our entire sculpture is paper mache. Oftentimes I overlap. So this time I might go this direction. See how it overlaps the one before? I'm gonna smooth it down. And here's where, like, if your newspaper was sticking out a little bit somewhere, you can kind of just, ooh, there we go. You can kind of tell that newspaper how you want it to go, what you want it to look like. You can push it down a little bit as you paper mache. Again, I'm working the whole structure. Let's see this glue again, because this is such an important part. Another option, if you don't want to push it like this, sometimes I can just get a little glue on my fingers and rub it. But this way, again, you're still gonna wanna scissor finger any paper mache glue off. There we are, and I'm rubbing it down. Now, the same would be true if you were doing a cardboard structure. Again, one piece of paper at a time. And we're going to go across joints until the entire thing is covered. See how I kind of smooth down? There's some wrinkles, but that's okay. I'm even gonna get the bottom. And every time I get some paper, I make sure there's only one of them. And I'm overlapping. Ooh, yeah, overlapping. Whoop. Nope, I want it nice and flat. Oh, there we go. As I go. So, artists, have fun paper mache. Oh, I almost forgot. One last thing. When you paper mache, if you're all done, you are going to want to make sure that your hands have as little glue on them as possible. So I like to take some paper towel, wipe my hands off first. Before I go anywhere, I probably have to put my sculpture on a shelf to dry. But then I wipe my hands clean, throw this away in the garbage, then go to the sink and wash your hands. Don't use soap. If you use soap, that paper mache paste just gets a little bit harder to get off your hands. So use just plain water. You can scrub them under the water to get all that paper mache paste off. And there you have it. Have fun making.